Alright, today on the channel we're looking at Is It Adventures, playing a bunch of cards from Wilds of Eldraine, the Alchemy set, and the original set from Eldraine. So this deck mainly is running a bunch of adventure cards, as you might expect, and basically when we had the original Eldraine set come out, we had a number of really good cards that eventually became quickly meta, but for a while there was some experimentation with the directly exposing ourselves to the adventure mechanic. And one thing that we did back then was play a bunch of Lucky Clovers and try to double up our Bone Crusher Giants and Brazen Borrowers. At that time, there weren't really that many adventures, so this was only like so strong of a deck. But now that we have a lot of new cards, it's worth taking another look at again. So obviously we have Lucky Clover, and the new set gave us Chancellor of Tales, which is effectively another Lucky Clover, just stapled to a body and coming in at 4 CMC instead of 2. Having this be on a 2/3 flying evasive body is pretty sweet as well, and your opponent's going to want to deal with this pretty quickly, otherwise you'll get a lot of value out of your spells. Let's take a look from the bottom up here, where we'll start with Strike It Rich, one of the few cards that is not from Wilds of Eldraine and not a adventure. This thing's kind of in here because I needed to round out some slots. We still don't really have like that many choices for adventures, so 4 ofs of a lot of these things plus 2 Hornlock Whales. I didn't feel like putting 4 of these in, so I was able to round out the 1-drop slot a little bit with Strike It Rich. One new card that we do get that is also not a adventure spell is Paths of Tuinvale. This is from the Alchemy Wilds of Eldraine set, and it is a really cool card. For 1 in a blue, you get an instant that allows you to choose one or both. Either you get to bounce a creature from your opponent's board to their hand, or you can bounce something from your board to your hand. And the one that goes to your hand gets cheaper, the one that goes to your opponent's hand gets taxed. So this thing's good to slow down your opponent early if you just want to cast it for the bounce properties. But it's also very good once some of your creatures are down and you want to pick them back up again to recast their adventure spells. Say you have like 3 Lucky Clovers in play and a Bone Crusher Giant on the battlefield. Well, you can deal 4 damage a turn, or you can just deal 8 damage directly to the face over blockers or something. So pretty cool card. Eventually we'll need to... there may be cases where we need to deal with our opponent's stuff, like 1 single permanent. And of course, we can move on here to Accident Prone Apprentice. This one has a cool little instant that frogifies one of your opponent's creatures, so I've been able to do this to like a Shieldred so that I don't get pinged in my upkeep as I draw. So it's kind of an interesting card. I don't really know if there's that many spots for it, but there are a lot of creatures with important abilities, so this could save us like a turn or 2 of effects. And then the other thing is that once you cast it for its adventure and this thing's sitting in exile, it will actually just start to grow bigger as you cast more spells. This means that this is a 2-drop that can also just turn into a late game threat if left unchecked. So a pretty cool card. I'm excited to play with this. We're also getting more otters, which means that we're getting closer to Otter Tribal, which is also exciting. There's also Scalding Viper here. This has a ability that's very similar to that of Brazen Borrower here, up in the 3-drop slot. Just basically bounces something to its opponent's hand. Pretty good. It is a sorcery though, so that's one thing to think about. But the upside of this card is that when it eventually comes down, it is a thing that can start pinging our opponent as they cast cheap spells. So all in all, I think this is a decent card. We'll see how it plays, and hopefully we'll hear only good things from it. There's also Lucky Clovers here at a total 4 of, same with Chancellor of Tales. So we basically have 8 Lucky Clover effects. Hopefully that's going to get us a lot of value. And then we have the 2 All-Stars from original Eldraine, Brazen Borrower and Bone Crusher Giant. Both are very strong cards, have seen play in a lot of decks since Eldraine was originally printed so long ago. And yeah, they're just always very good cards. Borrower bounces stuff, Bone Crusher stomps stuff. Love both of those effects. Of course, Chancellor of Tales here that we've called on before. And then there's Virtue of Courage, probably one of my more favorite virtues. This one is damage on the front side on the adventure and card advantage on the back side for the enchantment, or rather on the other side for the enchantment. This thing kind of fuels itself because once you resolve an enchantment, further copies, the 2 damage will also trigger and will give you some cards. It'll basically become 2 mana exile 2, which is a pretty good rate. And it's kind of notable that we have these 4 effects that can deal damage. We have 4 Bone Crusher Giants. We have Scalding Vipers that can ping. So we have like, you know, what, 12 versions of this stuff, plus all of our copying of Bone Crusher Giant and Embereth Blaze abilities. We have a lot of ways to trigger a Virtue of Courage. So once this comes down, it'll actually be pretty usable. And then finally, we have Hornlock Whale at the top end. This is a 6 mana 6/6 with Flash and Ward 2. All very good things to have. And if that wasn't enough, on the front side, it is just another little bounce spell that goes to the top or bottom of an opponent's library. This is usually pretty good because if they choose to put it on the top, that is essentially blanking their next turn, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, Hornlock Whale, we do like to have this one. It's nice that you can just flash it in the late game once your opponent, you know, is wrathing the board or whatever. This helps you get away. With that being said, that is the deck. We'll hop into some games real quick here, but before we do, if you want to support the channel, you can do so by real quick dropping a like or a comment on the video. Those help me a lot with the algorithm. And of course, if you're a new subscriber of the channel, or sorry, a new person to the channel in general, you can do your support by subscribing. Helps me out a bunch. With that being said, yeah, just stick around and we'll hop into some games here. Here comes round one. Let's go. Okay, round one. Let's see what we can do here. We have Paths of Tunavale very early on. We have a bounce through Horned Lock Whale and a Bone Crusher Giant. This is probably not the best hand, but my opponent's kept 7, so I will keep 7 too. And we'll just hope that these paths end up taking well for us. Opponent out here with a Shivan Reef, I guess we'll just show them. Make them think it's a game match. We don't have a mountain to show them though. Okay, first off, Iconoclast. So this is some sort of token thing. Wow, we can actually just literally copy them. We want to avoid them going wide, because until we have our Lucky Clovers, we can't really deal with stuff going super wide. I really love these sleeves, by the way. These are pretty cool. We can hold up a Virtue of Courage here. We have a Horned Lock Whale. Yeah, all these things seem like pretty good ideas. I'm going to hold the Riverglide Pathways as long as possible, I think. And so maybe right here a good thing would be to cast a Bone Crusher Giant. They could be holding up a bunch of stuff. If it's something that could kill the Crusher, they'll take a few damage, and that's not terrible. Since they're holding up, man, I think I will just chill here. I want to make it as awkward for them as possible. We'll see if they flash something in here. They're thinking about something. Prismari Command. That's more or less what I was thinking was going to come down. Sure. They will make a treasure. And as soon as they play any creatures, we should be good. They're going for a bunch of bounce and card draw. Okay. That's fine. If they're doing some sort of flash play, that's fine. So, ooh, we actually get a Chancellor of Tales. That's not too bad. So, what I want to do here is try to see if I can get my Virtue of Courage to resolve. I can show them the Bone Crusher Giant, which they know about. They might counter it, and then that would give me my best chance of my Virtue of Courage resolving. I could also play Chancellor of Tales, which kind of shows them what I'm trying to do here, and it'll kind of telegraph it pretty early, because I don't really have anything to do once the Chancellor of Tales goes down. I think I'll just play the Bone Crusher Giant here, and try to set up for Virtue of Courage next turn, which, assuming it resolves, I can. And, okay, so they decide that if they had a counterspell, they were not going to use it. This is just instant speed draw cards, okay. I'll need to try to resolve this Virtue of Courage. A Shock? Will this be a Niv Mizzet or something like that? That's the only thing I can think of. Wow, it's actually a Niv Mizzet. So what I'll do here then is offer a trade with my Bone Crusher Giant. If they block here, we kill it. Otherwise, it's all good. And then what I can do is actually just send Niv Mizzet back to hand with Paths, which is pretty nice. I can Positive to Unveil and then use Virtue of Courage setting up my following turn. Let's do that. So we will return both. This one will come back to me, this one will go back to theirs. I will do damage through my thing, and they get to draw a card. That goes in my face. Okay, cool. So cards go back. They will have to find a land. Well, actually, no, they'll have to find more than a land. We will go ahead and end our turn here. We have Virtue and a... Oh, we could actually deploy our Bone Crusher Giant right now. Maybe I'll do that. We can put him in 10. Really just put him in auto pay for this. We go 15. They now have a 4 damage a turn to worry about. And their Niv Mizzet cannot be cast yet. Thank you for that tax. We love that. We love seeing that out of our Positive to Unveil. So if not the Niv Mizzet, what is their next turn going to be? We're getting pretty close to a Horn Lockaway, which is interesting. They decide to play their own Scalding Diaper here, which is cool. Looks like they have their own ideas about how this game is going to go down. This could be another situation where I play my Bone Crusher Giant, or I could just try to resolve this Virtue of Courage. Virtue of Courage is good, but I mean, if I am just to resolve my Horned Lockwhale at the end of their turn, then I think I can just win. Even if that's not the case, I have Crusher, Virtue, Virtue on my following turn. Yeah. So I'll try to resolve Horned Lockwhale, and then I just kill that. The question is, do they play any counter spells? We haven't seen them discard any yet. They're holding up 1 blue mana right now. There's something to be said about Horned Lockwhaling, like, right then. But I think I'm going to hold off. Let's see if they do the Niv Mizzet attack, or the Niv Mizzet play. It's a Goldspan Dragon, sure. So do I kill this thing? It's a little awkward. If it attacks, it'll make a treasure. They'll have 4 mana then. I'll give them the treasure, I suppose. Put that back. You get to make 2 treasures, so it's as if I didn't really do anything there. Oh well. So now they see the Horned Lockwhale, unless they have a way to deal with my spell. I assume this means the Goldspan Dragon neutralize. Oh, so they will actually play neutralize here. Well then, in order to give them the least amount of treasures, I think I just need to pass. Send it back. Well, it's a bummer that I'm giving them so many things here, but it is what it is. We'll still be able to go forward with our plan to just do a bunch of damage to the face eventually. But now this finally resolves. Counter my Thornveil. That sucks because now I can't cast that thing. So now my win con has to just be damage. That's okay. I'll just start doing face with my damage. They go to 6, and we can basically put them almost to death. I think I will play this one a little bit slower and then do my we'll use our 1 mana to face and try to find some cards for a land. Big action. Look for a land. Do not find that. It's fine. Next turn we'll go Virtue of Courage, and hopefully it can kill our opponent. A neutralize will hurt to see. That Niv Mizzet is going to be kind of annoying. If I go Chancellor of Tales and Virtue of Courage and they do not have a counterspell, they're dead. That almost certainly needs to be a counterspell. Alright, so we'll deal some damage, auto pay. We gotta be a little bit careful with our life roll. That's good explorative cards. Okay, that's fine. This does not do anything. They're looking for a card. They just need to have a counterspell. I don't know why they didn't counterspell my version. It will cost me. I can hit him in the face. Legs, I'll see what we find. We would have found the land, and it will like that. So, I gotta imagine that was a misclick, because Is It Charm could have countered my my Virtue of Courage. Seems like a bit of a misplay. Would I have still survived if this was the case? I'm at 8. They bounced my thing. I would have taken 7. I might have actually just been dead. That's pretty wild. But luckily our opponent slightly misplayed, and we are going to profit from it. So, alright, we'll take it. Round 1 done. Let's hop into round 2. Here we go. Alright, it's round 2. Let's see what we got. We have a Lucky Clover for the first time, and I think that's probably enough to make me want to keep it. Paths of Tuinvale is good, and it's not going to matter because our opponent said they didn't want their hands. Okay. Well, sometimes people will just not play with 6 or less cards. Let's just hop right back in here and see if we can get a quick Q. Was really excited to get that early Lucky Clover, but maybe we'll get one again. Let's see. Back into round 2. Let's try it again. So, we are here with Chancellor Bonecrusher Giant off of some Pain lands. I think I'm happy to mulligan this one, especially after my videos. And hey, there's Lucky Clover. We still have the Pain land and Fiery Islet, but I think that I'm down to keep this hand. They keep 6, so will we, and they get to go. Elementals, cool matchup, let's go. Alright, we can kill a Healer with the Glade, that's no problem. Essentially Lucky Clover into Bonecrusher Giant to kill this and maybe their next play. Oh, yes, this thing can become a 5/5, so we might take as much as 6 next turn. Okay, cool. So we are sitting here fine. We'll use Bonecrusher Giant as they try to trigger their elemental, I suppose. See what the play is. They go land. Kill that. Healer of the Glade. Double stomp. Creatures. And now what happens? Omna. Well, now we can Brazen Borrower. We can also Scalding Viper and replace Scalding Viper. Cool, so we bounce the whole board off of 1 Lucky Clover, basically. We'll make a mana, sure. And yeah, Scalding Viper play. This kind of enables our Path of Tuinvale. That's pretty solid, so, I mean, they can actually just kill this with Omnath. That was kind of a mid-play. Scalding Viper. I could have held up for Paths of Tuinvale, or, I mean, I shouldn't have played that because I would have tapped out. Our Brazen Borrower deals with the Omnath just fine. So maybe I just go in with the Bonecrusher Giant, hold up Borrower. We also have Tuinvale online as well, which is notable. I'm at 10 though, which is not great. Let's see what they play. When an elemental, if you can hold 8 elements and draw a card. Okay, fine. We'll definitely just they can draw their card, fine. Yeah, we'll probably just bounce this Omnath. I would make the trade for it, though. That would be fine. They don't want it. Is to unveil a good idea? When I play my Borrower, it's going to be bad. I can go Borrower into Chancellor, or I could pad this next turn Chancellor, holding up Borrower and my Crusher. Let's do this. This one, that one. Take a little damage here. We're going to 8, not 7. Our Bone Crusher Giant is cheaper now, and so Lucky Clover is basically a better Chancellor. Now we have access to Borrower, bounce everything, or Bone Crusher plus play Bone Crusher. I'm gonna hold up and just basically do both of the adventures here. This is fine. That's also fine. This. Fertile. Okay, sure. Let them attack. Here. Double copy. So that. Okay, so we take that. And then we'll hold up Brazen Borrower here. Another Fiery Islet. These are not so great to have. We might end up just trying to draw a card off of them. That is good. That can block one of their creatures. And this Omnath coming in is not amazing anymore. Notably, it will kill my Crusher, so I'm going to have to Brazen Borrower while the trigger's on the stack. Okay. And then I'll make a decision whether or not I want to pay life on this Fiery Islet as well. This is fine. Now my Brazen Borrower is really good. Basic land card. Yeah, okay, fine. I'm okay with them doing that. We'll just put everything back into hand. Oh, well, that actually makes my Brazen Borrower even better. Okay, cool. So I can definitely get that, which is cool. One of these left fizzles my Brazen Borrower. I think I have to copy it, which is unfortunate. So that is actually a misplay if I think about it. I should have done it when before the Fertilid had paid for itself. But actually that would have, depending on how they activated their Fertilid, we would have ended up with the same result. So it is what it is. The Brushfire Elemental has haste, so we can go for that. We go Chancellor of Tails. I'm really not interested in taking money. We'll go like this, and turn. They can Omnath. If they drew a land, they can kill one of my creatures. Easter. Okay. There's probably a land. Omnath just has 2 damage, but it goes. The Brushfire Elemental can't attack? That's awkward because I don't want to die to this Brushfire Elemental, so I think I just chump block the Chancellor. Oh, it can't be blocked by something else. Alright, well I go to 1 damage here. I can send back my Bone Crusher. No, I cannot send back my Bone Crusher. That sucks. Well, I can bounce one other creature, so it's not all a loss. We will draw from here. Another 2 Unveil. No matter what I do, So I think I'll probably need to do my other fiery islet. If we don't attack here, we pass and try to combat our way out of this. Okay. That's kind of brutal. I need to draw back up to 7. Yikes. Okay, Chandra's Spitfire. Let's see, do they attack in? They shouldn't because we can deal with their board. This is a surprising attack. So 2 or less, right? Okay, fine. Do I want my Chancellor to stick around? I think I do. So we will return the thing that I don't control to there. And then I can activate my fiery outlet to draw a card. That's a good thing. Get a land. There's 2 more lands, that's not good. I'd rather keep the Strike It Rich in hand, so we pass. No attacks. We're chilling. I just need to draw something with a with an adventure on it, and then I'll be fine. I'm gonna try to get a trade for Nixaphid here. I will be fine to take one. Spitfire, that is not ideal. Make mana. For hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Okay. Well, that will just be return that. Well, return that to their hand. I think I'm dead no matter what. Okay, that's control. Crusher, and then we would have to get like exactly what they get. Okay. Alright, round 2 got beaten by elementals. The Omnath was surprisingly difficult to deal with. We just unfortunately didn't draw enough of our single target damage spells. It was just a lot of our single target removal. But definitely Lucky Clovers got us very far with this deck. Overall pretty strong. Anyway, that was our round 2. Let's hop into round 3. Alright, it's round 3. Let's see what we can do. We got some bouncing stuff. We have, if we get 4 mana, a Chancellor of Tails. I'll try it. See what our opponent gives us. Play like usual. No Thoughtseize out of opponent. Cool. Yeah, well, whatever. I would love for them to play. Come on, I know you can. Not even pulling that thing. Get more other lands, perfect. And then we can set up a turn for next turn where we play our Chancellor of Tails, so I'll probably want to bounce this when it attacks. I could use the sorcery. We'll bounce this. And our apprentice starts to get bigger. Let's go. Ooh, they're gonna fizzle my borrower. Okay, sure. Oh, we really want to have this, sure. We'll have a 2-3 in the air. Notably, this, will hopefully survive Shambling Ghast. They're deciding if they want to maybe Deadly Dispute again. Okay. Oh, Fatal Push. Makes sense. They were doing the Fatal Push trick where you need to float the mana before paying for your spell, as opposed to paying for Fatal Push with the treasure. Well, that doesn't really matter. Okay, so we don't have the doubling of our spells here, but we can just move a bunch of stuff out of the way. I'll probably solve it first, then back to Mayhem Devil. Makes our auto bigger, and then the idea is either... Probably it's actually just to do another one of these, so maybe I should have done this before, but now we can wait and see if we need to pass to Unveil. Alright, this is coming back again, sure. Alright. In case you're using grocery speed, I would just do this now. We now have a 4/4, which is cool. Scalding Viper can return the Mayhem Devil. Then I don't think I need to Unveil yet, so we'll start doing Scalding Viper. Start to pain our opponents a bit. We'll probably play the other one next turn, and then maybe think about doing one of the accident-prone apprentices. A 5/5 should be mostly big enough. We could have some stuff. That's the only thing I can think of. How do I feel about this block? I don't really need to. We can get one block to happen. And then I think I passed here. So Lolth is waiting for things to die. Sure.
Go, my children.
We might need to get rid of the Mayhem Devil. They'll take 2 off of the Mayhem Devil. Love to see that. The issue is that if this thing gets to trigger, they're going to take up my Scalding Viper. I imagine they have priority here. This is fine. I think once they target something with Mayhem Devil, I can bring it back to my hand with tabs. So they're taking a bunch of damage here. You can see that. You're just attacking like this. This has... It goes into the graveyard, draw a card. It's got Blitz though, so that's okay. And I think I'm happy to take 5 here in order to kill one of these annoying creatures. Oh, right. Well then I guess I'll just block that. More or less the same. Sure.
Subservience will be
Should
rewarded.
have just exiled that thing. Actually, no, it wouldn't have, it would have been sacrificed anyway. So we will go ahead and do both of these. The creature that we want to send back will be this one, and we'll get rid of their Mayhem Devil. Alright. And then, oh yeah, that's right. I guess I can always just cast this, and it'll be a good thing to have on the battlefield. We can send back their Shambling Ghast, and for sure kill Lolth. And then might as well cast the Scalding Viper. Now we get to move to combat and go in for 2 at Lolth, 7 at base, boom. And the opponent is staring down lethal in a couple of ways.
I am merely delayed.
The only issue is that they're going to have this
defeated.
Mayhem Devil now. And that's a bit of a problem. The 2 accident-prone apprentices are doing what they need to be doing here, which is nice. Opponent is thinking about it. They do Shambling Ghast again. They go to 4. Yeah, let's looks like we had them there. The Mayhem Devil would have taken them to 2, and whatever their payoff spell was would have killed them. Sweet. So, not the most optimal way of playing with the accident-prone apprentices. I think in some cases it may just be correct to play them as a creature just straight up, but at the same time it's also kind of a good thing to sometimes let them sit in exile and get bigger, so when they come down they won't die to any like single target removal that is like damage based, you know. So that's the reason that I do some of this stuff. Obviously you can be playing like bolt style effects here, but whatever, we were able to make it through. That was a good round 3, and let's hop into round 4. All right, round 4. There's a Lucky Clover in my opening hand. And if my opponent just plays exclusively 3 CMC or less spells, this is a pretty sick hand. We'll see if that is actually going to be the case. Will it flip immediately? That is the question. They are deciding. They may not know how to use the UI or something, because this does not seem like a decision that should take very long. So we can assume that was probably not the card that we were thinking of, or it was not a spell. We'll get hit for 1. That's okay. And we have our 3rd Shivan Wraith. Maybe a little spiky. There's one Clover. And we're looking to have a copy for Scalding Viper's trigger. Another 1. We've dodged the Insectile Aberration a few times now. Let's play something that can make red. Token. And then we will Scalding Viper back. Probably just the trigger, honestly. Well, I guess I'll have to get rid of the Omen as well, because Lucky Clover is a forced copy. Well, we will... Let's see, we'll give them back this one, and then we make the copy of this be the one that will take their Delver back to hand. So if they counter this, they're not getting their Omen back, but they're denying me a card. No matter what. They're going to take their card advantage here and run away with it. I will at least have a Scalding Viper. They should almost certainly be able to set up a Delver for the following turn. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's not how Omen works. They would have set it up for this turn. We're gonna have 5 mana next turn. I would play my Virtue if I get it. Otherwise, I'm gonna develop my board. Start with a Scalding Viper. Might be worth it to just play a second Scalding Viper. Oh, wow. They really don't want to see that, so maybe I'll just get that. This is annoying. Wow, we drew our 3rd Scalding Viper, that's crazy. Let's see if they have anything to flash in. Okay. And then we'll also strike a Rich. What's a 3 mana spell? To counter my 2 mana spell. That is an ideal mathematical situation that we got going on here. Now the issue for me is that I have all these Fiery Islets in hand, and they're going to be basically my only card draw now. When Secrets comes back, I like that this deals so they are going to try to arrange the top of their library, which means that I will need to find removal for Secrets. Another donor. I really don't like it. It's a third fire outlet, that's not clear. Draw card. That's not it either. So we're going to get hit for a lot right now. We will attack in and they're not going to block unless they know for a fact they're not flipping their Delvers next turn. I think if they rearrange their library, they are going to be happy to reveal and flip. So we have to deal with 6 damage a turn now. It's a 3-turn clock. Oh. It was not a spell. Why did they not transform their Delvers? I mean, there's yeah, we're really getting flooded out right now. That's unfortunate. Chancellor Tails is something. It's at least a block. No matter attacking. This has got to be the. Alright, negate revealed 3 times. We have to deal with a 1-turn clock. I don't think we win this one. Oh, if they attack all in, it's possible though. I will not block here. This is 12. I'm not dead. And I have to just draw out here. Okay. I think Virtue does it, unless they can deal with my board. Or unless they have anything that can flash there. There's also Negate, which is something that I didn't really think of. They go to 6, I draw, or wait. Yeah, I have to draw. I have exactly lethal, but they have the counter spell. Paths. What does this do for me? Absolutely nothing. Scalding Viper. 2. Oh, you know what I can do? So I can Virtue. They're going to counter the Virtue because it'll kill them. They go to 2. I play... Well, they'll go to 1 because of Scalding Viper, though. And then I can Paths back Scalding Viper, bounce 2 other things. That still doesn't win. I could try to bait them with Paths. Getting my Scalding Viper back? I don't know if that is what I want to be doing. Basically, I need the 3 virtues to resolve, or 2 virtues and 2 Scalding Viper triggers. I don't know. I do not know what happens here. I think no matter what, I die. They have to just misplay this negate. That negate is just the biggest top deck for them. Alright, so then we just have to try to bait them with this. So this will be discount Scalding Viper. Haughty Djinn is... that's one that gets more expensive. If they negate this, I can win. Oh my gosh. Okay. They'll go to 5. Spell. And do I win? Oh my god. Wow. That was a little bit of a mental circus there, trying to bait out the negate, but we actually were able to make it happen, so they just cracked it off right away. So what would have happened, and what I guess they would have been worried about, is if that resolves, I get my Scalding Viper back. I have Steam Clean for 1. I can remove 2 of their things and then replay my Scalding Viper. And then, yeah, I live to see 1 more turn. Okay, yeah, so actually I think they really I needed to play that way because that forced them to make the decision that they made. They were worried about their own life. Alright, well, a photo finish game 4 right there. Let's hop into round 5 and finish out. Here we go. Alright, final round. Scalding Viper, Bone Crusher Giant. Keeping it. Answer of Tails. Oh, that's super awesome. Strike It Rich is a good game to play. I think I really would like to. Have a chance for next turn if we really want. Pirate. Red Green is the name of the game. Not a land, that's good. We could take out the Seasoned Pyromancer, I guess. But I think I'd rather put them on board. We can block them effectively now, and we're also going to be able to get more value out of our crushers down the line. So unless they play something that makes me think that I'll have a hard time getting myself, they probably will answer their next turn as well. Okay, so this is land destruction. That means that I can probably still be okay with winning this, even if they were to land destruction next turn. Also, have 2 mana to wipe their board with. I don't really need to attack with the Scalding Viper. They've already gone down to 15. Now, Bone Crusher is now worth 6 damage. To turn that off. Then they go for Liquid Metal Coating here. Okay, well we can take that out, I guess. Oh nice. So I can also Brazen Borrower all this crap too. So how will this work? Brazen Borrower copies 3 times. I can take out 1, 2, 3. I'll Crusher to kill this, and then I can also just kill Karn, I guess. Or I can Crusher to kill almost everything, and then kill Karn with the Flyers, leaving up like maybe a 1-1. Then I can also Brazen Borrower up to return the Liquid Metal Coating. Do it like that. 1. Move to combat. so far. Now playing this feels pretty bad.
There is
also
always
just use
another fight.
Pyromancer, I guess. We'll see. They do end up playing with metal plate. 14 for that. If they play one more permanent, I can Brazen Borrower. Very cool. I suppose they'll just kill it. That's fine. I mean, they're taking a damage for this. Alright, and we got the moral win over land destruction here. Just poking them with our Scalding Viper. Love to see it. Well, ended strong, I'd say. Got some good games in with the Adventures deck. Got to see a pretty healthy showing of Chancellor of Tales and of our Lucky Clover. Some big copies of Bone Crusher Giant and our other adventure spells. I think that was a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will be exploring some other color pairings in this style, so look out for those coming soon. If you got other versions of this deck that you've been playing and have been liking, definitely let me know. I'm always interested in hearing about the other decks you guys are playing. And with that being said, that brings me to the end of the video. Before we go, if you want to support the channel and you are not subscribed, you can help me out by doing so. And if you want to support the channel but are already subscribed, you can help out by liking the video or by commenting on it. That helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, and it is always an uphill battle to stay on that thing's good side. With that being said, that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you